This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There we go. Skylar, how you doing, my man? You doing good?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, it's my pleasure bringing you on and having some fun. So how is your off season so far?
It's been so good. Definitely a different life than I'm used to, of having some free time for the first time in a long time. But it's been really good. It's been really enjoyable to get away for a little bit. Kind of go travel a little bit, see my friends, see some cool areas. Take some time off. I really needed that. So it's been enjoyable. I've been having a good time.
And by the way, Skylar is going to have an event. It's Skylar Thompson. A night with Skylar Thompson, benefiting the Thompson Family Fund for Cancer Research at the Johnson Cancer Center. And this is going to be in Manhattan, Kansas. So for our listeners there in the Midwest, it'll be at Goolsby at 1212 Bluemont Avenue, Suite 130 in Manhattan, Kansas. It'll be this Saturday, March 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. So get on out there and you can find out more. A night with Skylar Thompson, and you can check it out. And Skylar, so let me ask you something. You know how imperfect the world was last year, okay? Because to me, there's these people questioning the Dolphins season and how good are they and all this kind of crap. And to me, it was just a whole bunch about bad luck for you guys. Mm-hmm. I think if you all were healthy, look how injury riddled you were, and you could have won that game against the Bills in the playoffs. So I don't know how you view it, but to me, it was one of those imperfect seasons that anything and everything that could go wrong went wrong. You know what I mean? Do you view it that way? Because I think you guys are a hell of a team when healthy.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we definitely got what do they call the Murphy's Law?
Yeah.
It did feel like we just had an unfortunate injury, or, it was just one thing after another that just made it challenging for us. But I think all things considering that, obviously, like, the expectations that we had on the season, and probably that everybody did, it didn't, quite plan out that way. But I still think there's a lot of things to hang our hat on and to build on moving forward. And, that's part of football, though. Injuries are part of the game, and, people have to step up when their numbers are called. And, I felt like people did that, and we put ourselves in a position to make the playoffs and have a chance to beat the Bills. Like you said, I think that was a really frustrating and tough loss, because we felt like we should have won that game, but we didn't. But it's all about what you learn from those experiences and how you use those experiences moving forward to benefit you and benefit us as a team moving forward in an organization. And I think it was beneficial for us to experience that hurt, experience that frustration, as long as we use it in the right way, which I truly 100% believe we got the right coaches. We got everything. We got everything you can ask for. It's just about coming together and to keep working, keep trusting the process, and using that ending to the season last year as motivation going into this next year.
I agree with you 1,000% on that. And listen, the imperfect world was the positive for you, because in a way, in a perfect world, the 7th round pick, 3rd string quarterback does not even see the field. Okay. After preseason, which you had a phenomenal preseason, in a perfect world, you don't see it. The imperfect world put Skylar Thompson on the field a whole bunch. And that was a blessing for you now, because, you talk about this new offseason for you and having time. Man, you are blessed, because now you're going into next season with experience under your belt. And to me, dude, that's a huge blessing, Skylar.
Yes. Yeah. And I touched on it after the Bills game. I feel like I've always had a great perspective on things. And even in the midst of some tough times, tough feelings, whatever the case may be, I've always been able to see through that and see the blessings, see the positive things. And, I was completely aware, being a 7th-round pick, a lot of people didn't say, coming out of the draft was saying I was going to be very lucky just to make the practice squad,
Yeah.
and here I was. I started 3 games. I played in 6 or 7 games, and started a playoff game versus a team that was preseason projected to win the Super Bowl, and, that's always like, I've always believed that I can do those things. But, like you said, I was in a position where it was going to take, something happening for me to get those opportunities. And obviously that's never what you want, as a teammate, is to see a person get hurt, for you to get those opportunities. But like I said earlier, it's just part of the game. And in my position and my role, it was my job to be ready whenever my number was called, and I truly believe that every experience that I got to experience last year was so beneficial to me. And you really named the situation. I experienced it last year as a rookie.
Right.
And, there's so many blessings to take from that. I didn't take anything for granted. I understand, there's guys in this league that especially at the quarterback position, play 10 to however many years and don't get that opportunity to start a playoff game, and for me to get that opportunity as a rookie, I was very fortunate and very blessed. And it definitely has me excited going into year 2, knowing what to expect, knowing what everything's going to look like, having my second year in this system, to where it's not all brand new to me. I think that's really going to help me moving forward.
Is that what they talk about when the process slows down for you? Is that what they say, that as you get more experience, and I'm sure that's anything in life. I don't care if you're an electrician. I don't care if you're a football player. I don't care if you're a policeman. As you experience things and you get to do them over again, your mind all of a sudden takes over, instead of that paranoia, that excitement that you're trying to attack something. It kind of slows down for you. How do you get to that point?
Yeah, just like you said, experience is everything, and the more that you experience something, just the natural confidence and thought process, like all of that just kicks in even more, to where the game slows down. And you can't simulate game reps, and especially, a wild card game on the road in Buffalo, one of the toughest places to play. The way I look at it, like, it's not going to get much harder than that, and that gives me a lot of confidence moving forward, of just knowing what that feeling's like, knowing what everything is, what it takes to be prepared, what it takes to be a starter in the NFL, and that was a process for me all last year, that I was just trying to learn, and I would take notes on what Tua did. I would take notes on what Teddy did. And, that helped me. But I also needed to find, like, what clicks for me, what makes me feel prepared, what makes me feel ready. And I really, truly felt like by the end of the season, like, I was able to find a process and a routine that I felt like really suited me, to where when game day came, I was ready and I was confident. And, at this position, at the quarterback position, that's the most important thing, is being prepared and being confident. And a lot of that is built up through your preparation throughout the week. And I think that me getting those experiences and getting to feel what that felt like is really, really going to help me, really help me moving forward. So I'm really excited about that.
Quarterback Skylar Thompson of the Miami Dolphins joining us. And Skylar, you talked about it. Oh, you'll be lucky to make a practice squad. That's kind of what they told you. Well, you shined in the preseason. The team said, no, we got to give you a roster spot. And you're on the roster, and there you go. And you end up in a bunch of games. You start a playoff game. So obviously, it's like a drug. You're going to want more.
Mhm.
So you're not going to want to be the number 3 again. You're going to want to be at least the number 2. Well, Mike McDaniel talked yesterday here at the Combine, because I'm in Indianapolis here covering the Combine, and he talked about how he's going to bring in some competition, for you. How much are you looking forward to that competition? Because now you're not just competing for a roster spot, a practice squad spot. Now you're going to get a little hungrier. You're going to want a little bit more of that slice of the pie. You're going to be competing against somebody else to move up on that roster. How much do you look forward to doing that?
Yeah. That's nature to the game. I've always believed the more competition there is, the better it makes the team, and that excites me, because I love to compete. I love competition, and I wouldn't want it any other way, because I know that's going to bring the best out of me. Um, but I'm going to approach this year just like I did last year, as far as just control the things that I can control, and not look to my left, not look to my right, not look what's behind me. Just focus on what's in front of me and focus on where my feet are at, and just being the best me that I can be every day, being the best teammate, the best leader, the best quarterback that I can be every single day, and just putting my best foot forward, and I truly believe, like, I do that, no matter what happens, like, good things are going to fall into place. And that excites me. And, I'll be looking forward to it. I'm ready to, whenever the time comes, to get back at it and get to compete, and that's going to be fun.
Let's find out a couple things that Skylar Thompson learned this season. First of all, I thought Teddy Bridgewater would be an incredible hard drive for Tua and yourself, because you're talking about a guy that's walking in with a boatload of starting, experience. So what was the biggest lesson when you plugged in, your USB port into that hard drive from Teddy Bridgewater? Give me the top lesson you learned from Teddy Bridgewater this year.
Yeah. I mean, Teddy was a great asset, to have around. And on top of that, I thought he was even a better person, to me, and mentor. And he did a lot of things to help me, and he didn't really have to do that, but, just spreading wisdom to me of what it takes to be an NFL quarterback, how to be prepared throughout the week, things to do to help your body feel good, to help your mind feel good going into a game. Um, I try to watch him as much as I possibly could, because I knew, like you said, like, it was year 9 for him. He's been in the league. He's had success. He's been around some of the greats, Drew Brees for a while in New Orleans. So he's been there and he's done it and he's seen it. And so I knew that was really important for me to really, really dissect what he did, and use what I learned from him that I thought applied to me, to help me be the best quarterback that I possibly can be. So he was definitely a great asset for our whole quarterback room. I know Tua would say some of the same things. Like, he helped our whole room from his perspective and his understanding of the game and what he's experienced throughout his career.
What'd you learn most from that playoff game against the Bills about yourself?
Yeah, I learned a ton. I was very proud of the way that I fought and the way that, I competed. There was obviously, like, some plays that I wish I could have back, but that's going to be every game. But I think for me, it's just understanding, like, situational football, and knowing when is the right time to take a chance, and when is the right time to make the safe throw and just punt. I think that was the biggest takeaway for me, is just, I felt like there was a couple times where I was trying to make a play, and maybe trying to do too much, and it put our team in some tough situations. And, but all of that is great learning, and saying that, like, we had a chance to win, and there's nobody in this that I wanted to win that game so bad, and I did everything that I possibly could to do that. And walking off the field, I always like try to have that feeling of walking off the field knowing, like, win or lose, I gave it everything I got. I was prepared. I competed, and I did everything I could possibly do in my power to help the team win. And I had that feeling walking off the field, and that's a freeing feeling, and just not having regrets. And sometimes things don't work out the way that you want them to, but that doesn't define me as a winner or as a loser. The scoreboard
No.
doesn't always reflect that. So I took some time after the season to really reflect on that and really think about that. And like I said on multiple questions you asked, it's given me a lot of perspective and excitement for the future, for sure.
You talked a little bit about, you took some chances, and then there's some plays you want to get back. But that's the real bitch of a quarterback, is you can't be conservative either, especially in this league, because then you'll be at the end of the game you'll be regretting chances that you didn't take. And so if you don't have an aggressive mindset, you're toast in this league. You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those balances that it's really difficult at your position more than any other position on the field.
Yeah. No, I mean, just like you said, win or lose, the quarterback position, you're going to get more credit than you deserve when you win, and you're going to get more blame for a loss than you probably deserve as well. But that's the nature of the position, and that's what I love about the position. Is I love that my teammates, and there's so many people relying on me to do my job in order for us to win, and that always excites me. And ever since I was a little kid, that's what I've loved so much about playing the position. Is I love that pressure. I love the expectations, because there's nobody that has higher expectations for me than myself, and that's what makes it so fun. That's what makes it so fun, and really inspires me moving forward, because at this position there's always things to learn from, there's always things to build off of, and there's always things to get better at. And that is what's exciting, is there's always more you can tap into, and always more you can get better at. And that's what I'm really looking forward to tapping into this offseason and really working at.
Skylar, this is my 33rd year covering the Dolphins. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay. So and I'm born and raised in South Florida. So as a South Florida lifelong resident fan of sports, and obviously media member, but I'm the media member that tells you openly I root for the Dolphins, Marlins, Panthers, Heat, Canes, Inter Miami. I'm a hometown guy. So I want all my local teams to win. But I live with regrets, my brother. A couple years ago, the Heat were in the bubble. Bam and Goran got injured. They were playing so well, they might have been able to beat the Lakers. So I got to live with that. I got to live with some bad referees against the University of Miami and Ohio State, which I think they should have won the title then. You were really young at that time. But, and then I got to live with 4th and 1. And I got to tell you, dude, if you guys convert that 4th and 1, and I know that there was a mismanagement on the sideline. They thought it was 3rd down and it was 4th down, and McDaniel got caught up in the play and they came in late and all that, and it became 4th and 6. 4th and 1, dude.
Yeah.
If you convert that 4th and 1, I feel like you're winning the game. Do you live with that same regret that I do?
Yeah. I'd be lying to you if I said no. And I think everybody on our team would say the same thing.
Right.
But it was such a weird situation, and there's no finger to point to blame any one person. Other than I will still to this day, I'll take full responsibility of it, because, I'm the leader of the huddle and commanding that thing. But I will say our whole team thought we got a 1st down. And so even myself, I was already getting ready for the next 1st and 10 call. And I think that's what was taking place on the sideline as well. And then it was saying that we were short. So then we were like, okay, they're going to measure it at least. But then, okay, now they're not. now we're trying to switch personnels. Now we're trying to get a play call in, and it was tough. But yeah, no, hindsight's always 2020. You can always say this or say that, but it definitely felt like after I completed that 3rd and 10, to Waddle on the sideline, and we got a positive play to get a good chunk, that we were moving the ball in the right direction and that we're going to put ourselves in position to at least tie it, So like I said, hindsight's always 2020. The best thing, we can all do is just learn from that experience and, just help prepare ourselves for the future if it ever presents itself again.
Let me talk about your charity. Before I do that, the 3 games that you played against the Bills this year, in this era of where the Bills are at with Josh Allen, where the Dolphins have been, the Dolphins have never played the Bills that way. And I feel like you could have been easily 3-0, because 3 weeks before, if he doesn't leave with, if they were playing, you were playing lights out. And that, I think you would have won 3 weeks before that if stuff doesn't get derailed there either. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things that, to me, when I start to look at this, you guys have really cut the gap. And that, if luck is on your side this year and you can stay away from the damn injury bug, I really like your chances, man, of winning this division and being a player in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. And, that's one thing that we set our goals high at the beginning of the season and had high expectations, and we wanted to close the gap with that. And we have a really good division. I mean, we got some really good teams that's very competitive. But the Bills are a really good team. And we were just excited. We were excited every time we had the opportunity to play those guys, because we knew we were going to get their best and that we were going to play our best. It's exciting for us moving forward, because I think, like what I was saying earlier, we got a taste of what that feels like, and knowing that if we prepare throughout the week and play disciplined football and play together and play Miami Dolphin football, we can beat anybody, and I think that was something very encouraging for us moving forward. Now, the challenges for us is to be consistent with that throughout the whole season. Obviously we had some ups and downs of win streaks, lose streaks, win streaks, lose streaks, like we have to even that playing field out. And I think a lot of that just stems to us being consistent on a day-to-day basis. And, not looking ahead, not looking behind, and just focusing on 1 week at a time.
By the way, Skylar's going to have an event this Saturday, March 4th, a night with Skylar Thompson. You can join him out there. It's benefiting the Thompson Family Fund for Cancer Research at the Johnson Cancer Research Center. The tickets will include access into Goolsby's, includes the sports simulator and duck pin bowling, 2 drink tickets, dinner provided by the Cox Brothers Barbecue, silent auction, live music, meet and greet, of course, with Skylar. You can buy your tickets. They'll have an auction that night, obviously, which is all benefiting a great cause. And it'll all happen at Goolsby at 1212 Bluemont Avenue, Suite 130 in Manhattan, Kansas. Tell us why this means so much to you, my man.
Yeah, well, I've shared my story quite a bit, and I still feel like I'm still new to the Miami, the Dolphin community and the fan base. But yeah, just a brief background. I lost my mother to breast cancer when I was a kid. Lost my grandfather to pancreatic cancer 6 months before her. So my life was really impacted very early as a young kid by cancer. And 2 of the most influential people in my life at the time that I was very close with, losing them, man, it was tough. And still to this day, 20 years later, is really hard. And I don't think it'll ever get easier, but as I've gotten older, I feel like I've gotten wiser, and I've just learned how to handle those feelings, how to handle those emotions, and direct them towards a positive impact towards other people. And I truly believe that I was put through those things as a kid to to spread love and have an impact on the community around me. And that's why I'm so open about sharing my story. It's not for a sense of wanting people to feel sorry for me or, all that type of stuff. Like I believe, I know so many people in this world have been impacted by cancer in some way. And if I can share my story and it can give one little kid in the community, no matter where they're at, some hope that you can still accomplish your goals, you can still accomplish your dreams throughout such a traumatic experience of losing a parent. And that's what keeps me going every day is hoping and praying that I can have an impact on someone in this world and give them life, give them hope that there are better days ahead. And so I teamed up with the Johnson Cancer Research Center out of K-State, where I went to college, and opened up a fund that benefits their research center. So basically all the money that we raise it goes directly to the research center. And last year we gave out a scholarship to 2 students that work in the center, and then a professor as well. And then also any type of equipment, anything they need to assist their research, that's what the money's for. And so I'm very passionate about it. It's a very exciting, very awesome experience and event we got going on. It's a really cool deal. It's really cool to have going on. And what I also want to touch on is we have a silent auction going
on Saturday.
We have a silent auction, and you can access the silent auction through my Instagram link. And it doesn't matter, even if you're in Miami or wherever you're at listening to this, you can access and bid on the silent auction items from wherever you're at during that time. And we're going to have an Xavier Howard signed jersey. We have a Tyreek Hill signed football helmet. We have Tua signed a football. So we have some Dolphins players that have contributed, which means the world to me. So just tune in. Even if you can't make it, you can donate as well from that link on my Instagram. I'm not asking for much, just whatever you're willing to contribute, whether it's 50 cents or $500, whatever the case may be, it's all going to a great cause. And it means a lot to me.
Listen, everybody's been affected by cancer one way or another. We know a friend, we have a family member. And it's good that you talk about it, because that inspires others to deal, with that adversity the same way. So you're an inspiration too in the process, because I think we need to see other people kind of go through the same thing and see how they handle it, because some people may not be handling it the right way. Mm-hmm. And they may not be able to find the courage or the strength to move on in the proper fashion. And if you're showing it or somebody else is doing it, then they build strength from that. So, kudos to you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
It's all about, So it's and by the way, thank you for taking some time with us and talking a little Dolphins football, man. We really appreciate it. And how about this? This is probably your first interview where you didn't get Tua questions.
Yeah. In a way, it has.
Yeah, I figured we'd do a Skylar Thompson interview. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what we did today. Skylar, thanks for taking some time, man. Wish you the best in the charity. We'll continue to plug it here on the show over the next couple of days so we can get people to participate. And go to Skylar Thompson's Instagram page so you can find out more and take part of it. Even if you're not in the Manhattan, Kansas area, you can still donate all throughout the country and help out a former Finn current Finn fighting for a challenge out there that we're all trying to beat, bro. We need to eliminate that C word from our lives, dude.
Yep. 100%.
God, it would be really, really nice. Skylar, thank you for taking some time and appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. There you go. Skylar Thompson, man. Great interview. Appreciate the young man. Excellent.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.